What's going on, everyone? It is New Year's Eve, so yeah, we're closing off 2021 with another Western uh, film review, and I have about three others to do in the new year. So we'll be starting it off with Western reviews too. So yeah, let's continue on. This is about my seventh review for of a Western film. I have 10 total, so yeah, let's continue on. This one is The Assassination of Jesse James by the Coward Robert Ford. It's released by Warner Brothers September 21st, 2007. And it stars Brad Pitt and Casey Affleck. Brad Pitt actually produced this film as well, along with Dee Gardner, Jules Daly, David Valdez, and Ridley Scott. And it was written and directed by Andrew Dominic, who is also the guy who's done Killing Them Softly, Blonde, Chopper, and One More Time with Feeling. So, yeah. The assassination of Jesse James. It's a standard Western affair. This is more of a drama film than an action film. I know some people would market it as an action film, but it's definitely not. This is definitely the more dramatic, controversial side of both parties in this film, dealing with what's going on. So to kick things off, Jesse James is starting to become quite the notorious outlaw and has been accumulating bounties on his head. So a lot of people are out to get him, and he's very cautious at who he hangs out with and stuff. And then he meets and Robert and his buddy Ford, Mr. Ford, and yeah, they kind of like have a close bond there for a while for the first half of the film, and kind of like relish in his fame and stuff, and then want to realize they should capitalize on what's going on and plan to assassinate Jesse James. And so, but in the midst of this, they assassinate him. But then they realize instead of get them becoming like famous and stuff like that, it kind of escalates Jesse James to mythical status, where they basically just get picked off one by one, and almost forgot to time. So, yeah, it was an interesting film. I'm not too sure how much of this is based on a true story or not, but apparently some parts are. And yeah, it was decently made. The acting's pretty good. Yeah, the cinematography was interesting and not that bad. And yeah, the story was long. um, yeah, this film does the basic filmmaking flaw being boring. There's so much extra in it, and it doesn't need to be there. It's like so much exposition, and they tried so hard to make work so long at building these characters to not to the extent that they're hoping for. I think they kind of you spend quite a long time with them, and like they're good like actors and characters overall, but you know what's gonna happen at the end, so it's not like it's gonna be even more impactful. And yeah, by spending all this time with them and like going through like your pros and cons of like what's going on, and it's standard. It's nothing too spectacular in this film. It's just a lot of sitting around at the table talking about nonsense and building the characters up, which is fine when films do that. But I don't think this film needs to be almost 3 hours long. It like you cut it down to two, I think. But yeah, but overall, the story and stuff was generic, and overall, it's just an okay film for me. It wasn't anything spectacular or anything. There's definitely way better westerns I've talked about and that are out there in general that people should check those ones out. This one is not too high on my good list. Yeah, just because it was boring and way too long for what it was. And yeah, that could also kill a movie, which I'm pretty sure this is why this one doesn't get talked about as much as some of the others. And yeah, it's kind of disappointing to see that, but because of all the stars and all the names bringing in on the project and the way they like the setting and everything like that, like the sets and everything were pretty time period accurate as far as I'm aware and looked pretty cool. And yeah, It has the makings of a decent western with mixed with drama, but then they overloaded it with drama, which in the end is either make or break. So like I think if they kind of like trimmed it down, it would have been a little more accessible. But we're having it 3 hours, and that there's not, to me anyways, I don't think there's a big enough uh, audience for epic long drama films like this, unless you do it correctly, like There Will Be Blood or No Country for Old Men. The way those films like juggle things correctly. This one, it's kind of just like the same thing at a steady pace, with a little bit of controversy, like conflict and stuff mixed in between, but not enough to hold your attention so you can stay throughout the story. This one, I found I was looking at my phone every once in a while and stuff, and like you don't want to do that when you're watching a movie. You want to be immersed in it and like continue on and learn more about the characters. Now this one, it was like so predictable and standard. It was just, eh, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't great. It was just your standard way to burn 3 hours for no reason. So yeah. But with all that, I'm going to give The Assassination of Jesse James by the Coward Robert Ford a 3 out of 5. It's definitely one of the lower ones of the Western films I've been reviewing recently. And definitely, it was good to watch it. This is my first time watching it, so I probably won't watch it again for a long time. So yeah, but if you it sounds like something you might be interested in, there's a trailer link down below. Also, my Instagram is always linked down below. I post clips of films I'm going to review in the future on my story. Should have the film title and hashtag and subgenre film in the hashtag so you're aware of it. Also, my Letterbox is linked down below. That's where I post my first star rating right after watching the films. It's at Derek P Reviews. So if you follow me on one of those two to stay in the loop for this channel. Like this video, share some more people aware of it. Comment your opinions of the film down below if you have any. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. And if you have any other westerns or any films at all that you want to hear my opinions on in the future, comment those down below. I'll try my best to get to them as soon as I can, and if I can find them. And make sure you subscribe because you never know what I'm going to talk about next. Well, we're going to talk about a couple westerns, but yeah, hopefully you can find something weird, obscure, and odd films that people don't talk about for you to check out in the future. And hopefully, or you could also just hear my opinions on popular films and more newer films in general as well, because usually they're way different than most other people's opinions. So yeah, make sure you subscribe. But yeah, it's too bad this is a disappointment. Hopefully the next one's good. Next one's a Clint Eastwood classic. So yeah, hopefully that one's good. But this is New Year's Eve. This is the end of 2021. So yeah, this is the last review for this year. So yeah, Happy New Year. And I'll see you all in the next review, which will probably be tomorrow for the first day of 2022. So hopefully hopefully 2022 is a crazier and better year for everyone, and hopefully the world sorts itself out sooner or later. So yeah, but that's it in this one. Happy New Year, and hopefully no one gets assassinated anytime soon. I guess I'll see you all in the next one in the new year. So till then, cheers.